Hey everyone, this is Black Cool 7 here, and today I will be showcasing our, I guess you could say, PFA week 11, I believe. I believe this is week 11, so we're up against Wenwuk and his, I think it's Ottawa Bearnos, or I don't know, like he changed his name like multiple times, like between this battle in the past 3 seasons in PFA, so I'm gonna check on my thing just to make sure. Yeah, Ottawa Bearnos. Yeah, that's his name. Because he was like, he had one with the, I think the Latios, but I forgot the other name. But good thing we got the right in the first time. So yeah. All right. So right now, this is week 11, and basically we're in playoffs, and we're facing off against the Bearnos. So he's rocking a team of Serperior, Tyranitar, Heracross, Mega Heracross specifically, Jirachi, Gengar, and Jetagon. Other threats he had were like that I prepared for it were like Rotom Heat and Sylveon. So those two, and also like Gligar and Lantern, I believe. The other threats he had. I know he had something else that I was concerned with. Um, Gengar. Well, yeah. Well, I think I already mentioned Gengar. So he also had a Mantine, but then again, I had Zapdos. So here we're rocking Milotic with Flame Orb, Zapdos with pretty much standard defog attacks. You know, Lopunny with Power Punch and Drain Punch this time. So no HJK, just fake out a return, kind of in nature. Nidoqueen is pretty much Life Orb modest, and Scizor is just SD Bullet Punch knockoff. And lastly, Aromatisse is just a standard cleric set. So yeah, right off the bat, this game is looking pretty interesting if you ask me. And in terms of setup, like he has possibly like in theory 4 with T-Tar, Heracross, Jirachi, and Serperior. Well, obviously Serperior for sure. Heracross maybe, but I don't know about Jirachi and T-Tar. Like they could have like Rock Polish, Dragon Dance, or Calm Mind respectively. So this is going to be one of those games where I just know that this is going to be a very, I guess you could say, weird play. And also one last thing, he could be my round 1 opponent, so I might just delay this video until I battle him again. So that's just the way it is. So until I battle him in likely round 1. If he isn't my round 1, then I'm just like upload it as is. But still, I'll probably delay a couple videos of these PFA battles. So, anyways, just to let you guys know. So, anyways, right now, in terms of leads, I'm just thinking, okay, what do we lead? What should we lead? I figured Zapdos was a good lead here, and yeah, just go right with it. He goes to Gary the Gengar as I go to the Static Shock to Zapdos. Shoutouts to people who watched that show and watched Channel 5 or Kids WB or whatever TV affiliations you guys had. So, man, I am so fucking old. If you guys know that shit. So, man, I miss those type of programming. Now it's just those type of programmings are just weird as hell, and even like the TV shows are just I don't know. I think they have a version of Static Shock called Black Lightning. I'm not so sure if that's exactly the same show, or what, I'm just all right. I'm just busting all the balls here, but so right now I have Zapdos versus Gengar, and pretty good matchup. I could just spam Discharge if I really want to, so I'm just gonna go take this Sludge Wave, and I'm gonna go for Discharge, try to hope for Para, but no Para, no Curse Body, so we good, we Gucci. So here he goes to Dread again, and he just goes to Dreddy, and I am able to paralyze this thing. Kind of unfortunate because I wanted to poison this thing, but paralysis is okay because if this thing is offensive, then yeah, that might be a threat. so it's cool. Now this is sort of like a couple turns I kind of regret. I stay in with Zapdos, try to get some chip, but I find out that this is especially defensive. And he goes for rocks, and right off the bat I'm like, oh shit, this might be annoying as hell. So I'm just going for defog, as he's just gonna go for toxic. And yeah, and honestly I should have just gone for chip damage, because as you'll see, he's just gonna go for rocks again, so yeah. And since he's especially defensive, I did not take into consideration that he might actually just carry like a barrier of some sort, as you'll see. And he is paralyzed, and that puts me in a good spot because basically I'm able to take an earthquake, another earthquake if possible, because I don't think he's going to be like, since he took the HP ice and the discharge very well. I'm assuming that he is especially defensive. So, but I don't know whether Ice Beam can kill from this range, so that's why I was pretty hoping that I would have got some chip. I also was able to get some, but again, I didn't want to get Zapdos ward down too badly. So here I decided, you know what, I'm just gonna let Nidoking just go in. I don't want to say it's the weakest member of my team, but everything else on his team doesn't want to take any hits from Nidoking. So I figured I might as well get rocks now. So I go for Ice Beam, as he's able to live it, and apparently he gets paralyzed again. So yeah, I get lucky there. I get very, very lucky there. So that just puts me in the driver seat. So throughout this whole game, so I might have been able to take one earthquake, but two not so much. So getting that paralysis is pretty lucky in a way. Maybe he might have got. I probably would have got at least one of them. So getting both, which is really, really fortunate. So that happens one time. So here I decided to go for Ice Beam, just knock it out. And yeah, he goes to Harry, and I'm just gonna switch the hell out of here because I know for a fact that Heracross just can set up right now, and I have nothing to take it. So here he goes to Hera, and he goes for Earthquake, and it does a lot of damage. And I'm like, yeah, this is modest, or not modest, but like adamant. I don't know why I said modest. So I'm like, yeah, this thing is really bad. Unfortunately, he does go into Jirachi, and I am forced to wish up. And I learned that this thing's lefties. But the thing is, I am pretty annoyed with the fact that I can't do much here because he's pretty much gonna do whatever he wants. So he's gonna go for anything, like whether it be like paralysis, sub, or even calm mind. So this puts me in a very bad spot as I have to vote for protect, and he is calm mind. So I'm like, crap. So now I have to play around this calm mind Jirachi. I have to figure out whether it has Thunderbolt, Hidden Power Fire, what's the stabs, whether it's Flash Cannon, Psychic. Pretty much likely going to be Psychic, since I usually don't carry Dark type. So, and he's not. I don't think he has Moonblast at all. So, I believe I don't, no. If he had Moonblast, he'd be walled by Scizor. He needs like Calm Mind plus 3 attacks anyway. So. Here I just go directly to my Erratic Malo. He goes for another Calm Mind, which pretty much puts me in a very good spot here. I do activate my Flame Orb, and it is very nice because I can't kick Toxic, and I am able to take on the rest of his physical offense. So here he goes for the Psychic. He does a lot of damage, but I am able to go for the Haze and remove the burn. So right now Jirachi is so far in check right now. So I am able to force to go for a Recover, as burn will wither me down, but at least it's not that much. So he does go into Serperior, and this does put me in a very bad spot because I don't know whether this thing is lefties, as he doesn't reveal it. And I'm like, okay, this could be either a number of things, you know, whether it be like a Berry, Scarf, or even Specs if it is. So I'm kind of forced to go Zapdos here because I can't let Zapdos. I can't let, and no one just takes it. No one takes it as well as Zapdos, and I am really active on my Berry. But it is pretty unfortunate because if I had Zapdos healthier, I probably would have been able to like take the hits very well. healthy Zapdos would have been pretty helpful here. And one last thing is that if I had maybe what's that one ability? Pressure, then I would have just pressure stalled Leaf Storms, and he'd be like forced to run Dragon Pulse, Hidden Power Fire. That doesn't break like Aromatisse, Nidoqueen. I would easily kill any of my mons. So, but yeah, he's gonna set up as I am forced to go for a Hidden Power Ice here. I do get a crit, and it's very fortunate, but you know that happens. But this would have still happened. Like I think it doesn't change much in my opinion, because I'm just gonna go for Lopunny and straight to Sizzle right away. So, because now I'm starting to fear that this thing is what do you call it? The Scarf, because the way he brought it in and the way it's not taking any damage, as you'll see. Like I'm just gonna go for Fake Out, and I'm gonna go for this. I go for Fake Out, one, to check whether this is Berry, and two is if it isn't, then I could at least go for Return to kill it the next turn. So, so yeah, he does get flinched, and I'm like, okay, he is maybe. Well, then again, this isn't doubles, because if this was doubles, then I would have figured it out whether he was Scarf or not. So, but here I can't tell. So here I'm forced to go Scizor because it's a 4x resist, and I should be able to eat this. And yeah, barely, but you know, I still do. And like I would have been able to pressure this Serperior either way. So yeah, and I don't like how I just took so much damage though. And also, if I was like, but the Spit F just helps me there. But yeah, here I go for Bullet Punch, and it doesn't do as much damage as I hoped, but it does put it in range of Fake Out plus Return. So, so that's pretty nice. And here I just go switch out to Nosferatu, and at this point he goes for Knockoff, removes my berry, and yeah, it's still kind of a close game, but I know now that's gonna come down to Jirachi versus Milo and Hera. So at this point I'm like, yeah, he's gonna get a free switch into whatever. Here he goes into Gengar, as I go for Moonblast, and I do get a crit here, but really I didn't. I don't think it would have mattered too much, because I would have two-shotted him right away. I would put him in range of Bullet Punch or Fake Out. So yeah, at this point he actually makes a very hard prediction, and goes for the Shadow Psyche and for my Nidoqueen. And I figured I would stay in because, okay, the reason why I wanted to stay in here was because there's like pretty much two reasons. One, I wanted to get a free switch into Lopunny, so that way I get a power-up punch, and I could just go for like, and at this point like Serperior is dead. So my thought process was getting a +1 return, like +1 with Gengar, and then just going to town against this team, and it'll come down to whether or not Jirachi is defensive and whatnot. So that was the idea. Since he is not fast, you know, he's not Scarf, you know, we just saw that he's Psyche and Z. So basically this just puts me in a very bad spot. I wanted him to kill me, but you know, that's whatever. As I am able to go get the kill with the Moonblast, and yeah, this just puts me in a very bad spot now, because I am forced to go. He's forced to go to Heracross, but he's at this point, he's very low, so I could just kill it with any of my mons really. So, and I know I can outspeed this thing because he's adamant. So, here I'm just gonna go to Lopunny, and obviously I have to respect this Hera, and he just goes for the return, or the. I wanted to go for, like, if I had sub, I probably would have gone for it here, but then again, he had a good sack anyway. So he goes to Tyranitar, and at this point I'm like, alright, so I'm just thinking, is this thing banded? Or like is this thing Choppleberry? Because like, why would you bring this in? So let's be like defensive with Chopple with superpower. And I'm like pretty much debating whether to go with Nidoqueen or Milo, because like I still don't want to like get Nidoqueen, like Milo versus Heracross just yet. I just need to get rid of Jirachi and then we're good. So here, I just decide, you know what, I don't need Lopunny as much because Heracross is already weakened and Sand's gonna weaken it down with rocks as well. So if I keep Scizor alive, I could just kill everything. So I go for Drain Punch because I will just get back HP. So yeah, here he goes to Jirachi as I do get a buff. Go for the Drain Punch, and I do a lot to it, so I'm like, okay, this is offensive. Like, the fact that I did so much to this thing implies that this is offensive Jirachi, so. And I'm pretty much in a very weird spot here because, of course, this thing could have Wish, and I have to play around that. I have to play with Pop plus Wish. So that's a pretty much like very interesting scenario. And if he Calm Minds, then he'll definitely kill me. So, and also it depends on whether he is invested in special attack. So here he goes for the Protect, and we know that his. Now at this point, I'm like really worried because I'm like, wait a minute, if this is like mono attacking Psychic, this could pretty much win him the game. So at this point, I'm very concerned, and I go for Pyro Punch just to try to get boost up. Try to predict the Wish or the Combine. If depending on whether he had one or the other. So now I'm very concerned about this thing having. At this point, I'm very concerned about Jirachi having Combine or like Wish again. So, but at this point, this does mean that Scizor can take one Psychic if Lopunny goes down. So I could just Roost up. Like, so I don't mind like Lopunny going down if it means a free switch to Scizor, and if he does reveal Wish, then I could just go for Roost and knock off. So I could deal a lot of damage. And at that point it's gonna be T-Tar and Heracross versus Scizor, Milo, Nidoking, and then obviously those three alone just carry this game. So that's why I'm playing a little aggressive with Lopunny. So here I'm just gonna go for Drain Punch. Do a lot of damage to Jirachi as he goes for the Calm Mind, and I'm like, the reason why I stayed in with Lopunny was because, like I said, like I wanted to ensure that, okay, the reason why I stayed in with Lopunny is because I figured that maybe, like, he doesn't have anything for it. Well, Lopunny doesn't really have to carry this team. Like, Scizor can just pick off everything with Bullet Punch, and as well as Nidoking and Milotic if they're healthy. So, I'm just trying to get as much damage on Jirachi as possible, so I just keep going for Drain Punch, and if I get a pop-up, maybe I could just put him in range. He does Protect as well, so that also implies to me that he maybe be mono attacking Psychic. So I just go for Drain Punch here, and like I just want to get as much damage as possible. And at this point, he just goes for the Calm Mind, and here I am like thinking maybe he's gonna go for Protect or Wish, so I just go with Scizor, thinking that he's gonna go for that, and I wanted him to sack me. Even though I said like I didn't want Milotic to take the hit. I wanted to get Milotic in somehow, and that's the only way I could get it in. Just going directly to Scizor to get a sack, and also this thing could have Hidden Power Fire if he is not Wish. So yeah, that's why I went for that play. And at this point, I'm gonna go to Milotic. And at this point, he goes for Wish or Protect here, trying to get leftovers, and I go for Haze, and it goes to Protect. And at this point, I just get rid of Jirachi's boost, and yeah, I pretty much get a huge threat out of the way. And now I just go for Scalds, and yeah, here I honestly could have just played around with it, like his Jirachi. Like maybe gone the burn and whatnot. So he does reveal that he has Flash Cannon, but yeah, at this point he's trying to fish for the Spadef drops. So at this point I need to start wearing this thing down, like hopefully get a bird to negate his leftovers recovery. So yeah, I just put him in range of like Lopunny's Drain Punch. I still have to worry about Heracross and Tyranitar, but yeah, here he gets a Spadef draw finally, as I just want to get as much damage on this Jirachi. I said I'll get a burn after I think going for like maybe 3. But yeah, I then again I hacked him out there, so he kind of deserves it. I kind of go for Scald because I know that he's eventually gonna get the Psychic, special defense drop or Flash Cannon, special defense drop. So I could have just went for Recover. I could have went for Recover, stalled him here, but I wanted to ensure that this thing is weakened. So yeah, and maybe I could have unhealthy with Milo against either Heracross or Guitar, but you know, yeah. I am able to get out the Jirachi, but you know, I am very low with my Melodic. So he goes into T-Tar again, and he goes for the Earthquake, reveals it. And at this point, I'm thinking maybe he doesn't have, he maybe has Crunch Stone Edge. So I'm just gonna go for Earth Power, and I do get a high roll here, so I'm not so sure what his set was with T-Tar. Maybe he was Rock Polish or Weakness Policy or something like that. But either way, we were able to knock him out, so that's I think the only way he wins. And yeah, we got rid of T-Tar, and Heracross is out here. And at this point, we just win the game because, you know, Loppity can outspeed Heracross, and he's not healthy enough for a sub. And with Sand up, just over. So I'm just gonna go for Sludge Wave, and yeah, game's over. GG's to Wenwuk as we move on to a 10-1 record. And yeah, basically we're just gonna we're just one more win away for going. I think at this point we clinch first place in the league, so it's another time. That's our what 3 times in a row that we clinch first place in a league. More specifically in PFA since I've been here. But yeah, we were able to beat Wenwuk, and he's a really good player. Good player, nice person. And it's just that I do admit that the RNG there with the Earth Powers, I'm not Earth Power, but the statics, static zap, multi-search Zapdos and paralysis kind of sucked. But yeah, that happens. And I didn't want to get it onto Dreddy, so I did get some crits, but I think the game would have played out the same. Only difference is that maybe I would have lost his ore, and maybe I would have just had a more difficult time getting into Nidoqueen and Milo, and that might have given him the game in a way. So at that point, I probably would have tried to prevent that by just going for Milo. I would have tried to stall him out in a sense, via just going for Scalds, going for the burr, and trying to haze out any Spadef drops I get, any boost he gets, and then Scald burn him, just wear him down. So it would have came down to some crit if he gets a crit while he's boosted. So yeah. So anyways, it was a close match, and we might face him again in finals, or not finals, but round 1. So probably I'll be prepping for him very soon. So and as a result, I might have to keep this video on tabs for a while until I battle him or I don't battle him at all. So anyways, hope you guys enjoyed this video, and see you guys later.